Howdy, hobbyists. Welcome back to Treetop Hobby Woodworks. Back in March or April, you remember, Mike and I cut up some oak trees and cut some slabs. You can kind of see them in the background there. And I'm going to pull 3 of those. Now that they're dry, they've been sterilized. We're going to knock the bark off, and we're making Texas meat planks. We'll talk about that more later. But this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so brand new learning experience for me. Hopefully a new learning experience for you. And if you've done it, critique. Give me constructive feedback. I love it. And to get things started, we'll pull out this grinder, and that wasn't working. So I'm gonna just get all the bark off of all 3 pieces first with a high degree of success. So happy. And we'll just start to refine those edges. Then we'll get these things flattened, sanded, and watch the party ensue. That, to say the least, was arduous. Very satisfying, but really arduous. I want to say 6 hours to flatten those, maybe 4. But, as you can see, I have some nice flat boards. They're not consistently flat, meaning they're not all the same thickness, but they're close. This one probably suffered the most because it had the biggest bow in it, so it's considerably thinner than the other 2. Super happy with them. With the flattening process. So now I'm going to sand them. I'm probably going to have to be somewhat aggressive. The first board I did is super smooth because that blade was brand new. The last one I did, this guy, still warm. God, don't drop it, Greg. Has a little bit of ridging because those blades did get dull. So I'll be more aggressive with this than with this. I'm probably going to start with an 80 grit and work my way up to probably 80, 120, and we'll see from there. Maybe 180, maybe 320, it just depends. But before I do that, I'm going to go in and sand down these sides. I'm not gonna lose the live edge, but one thing to keep in mind is the live edge that I'm doing is not really the live edge. I'm not leaving the bark. I've tried to pull off as much of the sapwood as I possibly can. Or that bark wood. Sapwood's really this lighter stuff right here. This is the juvenile. This is much, much harder. This is still a really hard, tight grain. The stuff on the outside was real pale, and that was essentially bark. But I still want to have a live edge feel to it. So it's not faux, but just a softer live edge. So I'm going to get one of those brushes with my Ryobi and just clean up these edges real good. Still trying to maintain that, I guess, rustic feel. Remember, these are Texas meat boards. These are not charcuterie trays or cutting boards. These are for steaks and roasts and big cutting jobs, not end grain. We'll get into all that. Here we go.
Yeah, so these are the sanding brushes I was telling you about. I put them on a Ryobi corded drill, and ends up really giving me a cool texture on the outside of each of these boards. Something I've never seen before. I'm super happy. It's kind of smooth rough, if that makes any sense. And we'll get it after with the sanding. And you're about to find out that not everything is going in order as it should.
So I screwed up. Not bad. I got so carried away with getting those boards flattened and sanded and ready to go that I completely neglected the fact that these are cutting boards and you can't have cracks in them like you might in a table or something, allowing for some sort of rustic appeal. You got to fill them in because you need to be able to clean them. And bacteria is a huge problem if a big meat cutting board has got cracks in it that's basically where you're unable to get inside there. So I bought a knot filler kit with these and this, and we're going to get into it and see if we can't get these boards finished up. We'll go ahead and fill them. I'll show you the process for the knot filling, and then we'll sand them just a little bit more, get our juice grooves in, which will be an interesting prospect, and get them finished up.
Your heart's on your sleeve, and nobody can see right now. Summer days, summer nights, lose it all, close your eyes. It's okay, waste your time. I don't mind, I don't mind.
It hardens really fast. I'm gonna have to be faster than that. So here are the color swatches. And you can see that's pretty robust. We match all sorts of wood color, which is nice. I'm not saying I wouldn't use it. I probably will stick to black for most projects, but that's nice.
The sanding of the exit really isn't that big of a deal. In other words, it doesn't take that much. It's just, that's about a 180 or a 120 grit paper. And took it right down, flushed everything out, and ended up turning out really nicely, just exactly what we're looking for.
Moment we've all been waiting for. Let's put some finish on this thing. So we'll finish it, let it dry, get some feet on there, and call it finished. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. Here we go. Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing them all like this. I will probably do a couple coats. See how that black melds in? I feel like that's just super non-intrusive, but it's also not hiding or apologizing for having that on there.
I apologize.
Don't apologize to me, I don't even know you.
Yes, this wood is very dry. Just lapping up the oil. So I was really excited to, they're nice and treated and finished, look gorgeous. I was so excited to just get the feet on and take them and do the food shoot, but there is one glaring mistake or omission. I forgot my juice grooves. And a Texas meat plank has got to have a juice groove. So, I think what I'm gonna do is let them just harden up a little bit more with that finish. And then morning, come back, cut my juice groove, in all of them and not make that mistake, because it's got to have a juice groove. I was just so excited.
Okay, to say I was nervous is putting it lightly. These are now expensive boards with a lot of work in them. This guy right here, I kind of designated as my sacrificial laboratory board, and I'm gonna make some mistakes. Your jig has gotta be all 4 sides. I thought I could do 3 sides, flip it around and do it, but no, you've gotta stay consistent with that router going. You also really need a better plate. An acrylic plate. I've seen several kinds in there. Had to kind of turn it around and reshoot this groove. And the other mistake I made on this first was I cut all of it at one time. In other words, I dropped that bit down to its whatever depth, and that was just way too much stuff to take off. So compound that with the fact that I wasn't lining things up and mistakes were made. So sit back and enjoy me trying to get through this thing. What it comes down to is I made mistakes, owned it, and I'm going to eventually get involved with some chisels and try to clean it up as best I can. Again, this one's staying at home. I'm not going to sell this one. We'll make the best of it that I can. And when I say, okay, that's good enough, for me, that's going to have to be good enough, because I wanted to get onto the other boards and take what I'd learned on this guy and apply it to the others and do a better job. So the solve here for some of my nicks on those corners, which is inevitably where the worst place you're going to work with is going to be, is to put a well in. I wanted to do a well anyway. I screwed this part up, the glue didn't stick, and you'll see right here that the droughter will start to rift. It's just, don't ever try to freehand, and you're gonna have to clamp down jigs, not get lazy. And I was just impatient, me doing my thing, but put in this longer bit, moved it back a little bit, and it's probably a bigger well than I had anticipated or hoped for, but it'll work. And I have to do one in the other corner as well, just up to the upper right there. Here's me kind of chiseling it out. Again, trying to make the best of a situation in a mild panic.
Holy cow. This actually looks a lot better than I thought it would. These are not precise, I get it. Boy, that looks pretty good. Get right up close on it, you can definitely see the mistakes. Inconsistency in the sanding. You step back, the package as a whole, I'm okay with it.
Lessons learned, went onto the second board and got a much better cut.
I would say that is entirely more successful than the last one. Plan is, carefully drop this in, flush it up, and all I gotta do is come here. So it's gonna cut that well in here, then I'll freehand what's left. So, here goes. But that's pretty good. We'll call that good. We'll be happy with that.
When you sand or cut a juice groove, you expose some more cracks. So going back in with the knot filler, just cleaning it up, adding a little more knot filler in there, and back to the sanding and get everything looking the way it's supposed to.
Okay, so right now on camera, I just made the decision this will not be getting a juice groove. I don't have a bench big enough to do it with all the jig to get it done right. It is such a big plate or plank that honestly you can cut on it. It may well up, may go over, and if the buyer wants it, they can put it on themselves. It's such a pretty piece of wood. If I cut a trench through here, we're gonna miss all of this quarter sawn effect, which to me would be a crime. I don't wanna do it. I just cannot. So between not being able to and not really wanting to mar this wood anymore, I'm gonna call it good, man.
So took the boards home, racing against a setting sun, lit a fire, and decided I probably better stress test the one that I'm keeping. Cooked them, let them rest. It turned out wonderful, as you'll see. Just a perfect medium rare, with the application of a little more mineral oil every once in a while to make sure that wood's protected. This is gonna be an heirloom piece that we're gonna have around for a really long time. Thanks, enjoy you guys. If you think I earned it, like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.